Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again. Real Ken's TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Now, before I get into today's story, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you're representing, and let us all know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be. I often speak about how dangerous the penitentiary is. So in the state of Kentucky, not sure about any other states, but what they'll do is the prison system, and I often speak about how locking people up is a business. The prison system is so full that you may sit in the county jail after your conviction. You may sit in that county jail for 4, 5, 6 months before even being sent to the Rotary farm. And the Rotary farm is a prison, but for you all that don't know, you go to the Rotary farm to get processed, to get classified, mental evaluation, physical evaluation. They look at your crime, you're assigned a caseworker, look at the amount of time that you have, and from that point, they determine what's your custody level. Okay, are you going to maximum security, medium security, minimum security, or work out in the community? Once you go to the Rotary farm and all of that is established, you may be there for another 3 or 4 months, depending on what your actual level is. Well, prior to all of that, if the beds are too, like if there's too much of an overflow, what they'll do in Kentucky is they'll send you to a county jail. And you'll sit in that county jail until there's bed space available to send you to the Rotary farm. You get final sentenced. Takes about 60 days. You think you're going to the Rotary farm. No, you go to another county jail because you never really know where you're going until you actually start to get processed and booked out of the jail, because they book you out of the jail to send you to the next facility, if that makes any sense. You may get to the county jail, which people hate that because they want to go to the Rotary farm. They want to get prison time is way better than county time. Preferably be out here with your family and your girl and your loved ones, but if you have to do time, you'd rather do prison time opposed to county jail time. I've seen the most violence in county jails. Go to the county jail that they send you to. You may be there, like I said, 2, 3, 4 months or whatever prior to being sent to the Rotary farm. Now, in this particular situation, you had 2 violent individuals. You had Mark, aka R&B. Mark was a black dude, caramel complected, kind of had that R&B-ish look. Mark was about 5'9", couldn't weigh no more than 160, 165 pounds. Cool, smooth, laid-back dude, man. But don't judge a book by its cover. The old saying. Mark didn't play no games on the streets. Mark was known for toting that iron. And he would buck at you. And he could not stand the police. Mark, I think, was serving, I want to say 15 years at the time. Mark was in a high-speed chase with the police or whatever. He jumps out of the car. He's dirty. He got work on him. Drugs, and, he got that iron. Like American Express. Never leave home without it. That was his motto. He took it everywhere he went. He'd rather get caught with it than without it. You run up on Mark, you better be about it. And everybody knew. Jumps out of the car. Wrecks the car, actually. Jumps out of the car. He's running. Well, police officers, man, they always want to be heroes and do the most. Do extra. So the police officer starts chasing after him. He's chasing after Mark or whatever. Mark ain't going back to the penitentiary. He had already been a couple times. He's not going back in his mind. That was his disposition, if you will. Mark pulls out that iron and starts firing, but he's firing as he's running, but he's firing backwards. The officer, I guess he doesn't have an opportunity to grab his iron because he's trying to dodge, and jump out of the way or whatever. As far as being hit, with the spray of bullets. Not necessarily spray, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. He's trying not to get shot. In the process, he falls, breaks his ankle. Not twisted his ankle. Not just, bruises his ankle. He breaks his ankle, supposedly. Mark gets away. Or you got surveillance, you got cameras, you got, Mark was driving the car, so it all comes back to Mark. He gets arrested. Attempted murder on an officer. Fleeing and evading in a vehicle, which is the least of his worries. And assault on a police officer. Because anytime the police officer in Kentucky, a lot of people jump in the comments, well, sometimes people jump in the comments, well, Kens, that's not right, or here, they do this, they do that. Okay, well, different states have different laws. And in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, they pretty much make up laws as they go. These are the charges that he's charged with once they finally apprehend him. Mark is one of those individuals, he don't really take plea deals, man. He's going to trial, man. They got to take me to the box, man. He's in the law library every day or every opportunity that he gets, studying his case, looking for cases that are similar to his. Just he's really in tune about his freedom. He's not just allowing his freedom to be in the hands of an attorney, someone that doesn't even know him, especially dealing with the public defender. Oftentimes, I was at the Fayette County Detention Center with Mark, and I was a trustee, and they would send me to his spot. He's in maximum security, lockdown. He stayed in lockdown in the hole. Bro, give me a trash bag, man. A couple inmates, that I knew or whatever, I get them a trash bag. The significance of a trash bag, they fill it up with water and they can work out. You're not supposed to have trash bags. They don't want you getting big. They don't want you working out. They just want you to sit in that cell 23 hours a day. I slide up a trash bag or whatever. Like I said, I was a trustee for 6, 7, 8 hours in that cell. Certain COs that was on, they was cool, man. I go to the door, I talk to them. Different dudes that's locked in the hole. Kens, what up? I'm from Lexington, so, born and raised, so I know so many people. Kind of got to the point to where it was somewhat frustrating because every other, Kens, let me get extra tray, let me get extra juice, let me get extra. But nevertheless, Mark would tell me somewhat the ins and outs of his case. He didn't tell me everything, but he was asking me, okay, if you was a juror, and I said this and I said that or whatever, would you convict me? Kind of like trying to simulate the case or whatever. Mark goes to trial, as I mentioned. He didn't take plea deals. Somehow, some way, he gets found not guilty of the attempted murder. I don't know how, because you have a police officer that's getting on the stand saying, this guy shot at me, but somehow he beat the attempted murder. But they found him guilty of the assault, because like I said, the police officer broke his ankle, and they found him guilty of the fleeing and evading. So he ends up getting 15 years in prison. He finds himself at one of the worst jails to be at. You see, a lot of these jails, what they do is they house state inmates. So when you house a state inmate, you're how can I put this for you all that don't understand? Okay, typically a county jail only houses county inmates, people that have misdemeanors. Even if they have a felony, they're pending felonies. But once they're convicted of a felony, they get them out of there with the quickness. Well, you have these jails that are saying, okay, well, we understand that locking people up is a business. Penitentiaries full, overflow. So we'll do the necessary things to become a state facility, which is called a Class D facility in the state of Kentucky, and now we can house certain inmates. Even the ones that we can't permanently house, we can house them temporarily until there's bed space at the Rotary farm to send them to, in which the state rather is going to send them to. So you got these jails, man, and it don't matter where it's at. The Hills, Eastern Kentucky. The Hills have eyes looking motherfuckers. That's what some of the guards look like. Some of the staff look like. Mark gets sent to one of the worst jails at the time. Three Forks Regional Jail, Beattyville, Kentucky. That just sounds, Beattyville, Kentucky, that just sounds like some racist shit. Very racist. I'm not saying that the town is racist. I'm not saying that everybody there is racist, but it's a whole lot of racism. How do I know? Because I've been there twice. Beattyville, they hold, at the time, maybe about 120, 130 inmates. You'd be lucky to have 2 or 3 black people there. In the whole town of Beattyville, there's not too many black families. And the ones that do reside there, they're somewhat accepted. Because they've been there their entire lives. They like country music. You know, they do the things that they go hunting and you know what I'm saying, like go fishing, which is nothing wrong with any of those things. But they're not necessarily like me, if that makes any sense to you. So they're accepted in the town. They wear overalls and straw hats. Again, there's nothing wrong with any of that if that's what they prefer to do. So like I said, they're somewhat accepted. But as soon as a person has a problem with them, as soon as you know there's an issue, guess what? They're a nigga. Just the way that it is, man. So I say all of that to say that the town just wasn't used to black people being in the area, being in the facility. So Mark finds himself in this facility. He's thrown in a cell. It's 20 people in the cell. Cells are only meant for 8 to 12 people. Let's say 10 people. Remember, locking people up is a business, so they're going to take as many people. They're not turning anybody away. It's like 20, 21, 22 people in the cell, man. Overcrowded. You got one toilet. You got one shower. You got 2 phones. You got one 13-inch TV. You got one microwave. But you got 20 to 22 people. 2 black dudes in the whole cell. Mark and some other dude. I don't even know the other dude's name. He was one of those type that he wasn't necessarily from Beattyville, but he was kind of Beattyville-ish to a certain extent. Mark went by the name of R&B. R&B. Well, Kens, why did he go by R&B? Because he had a gift. He could sing. He was a gangster. He was definitely a gangster, but he could sing. So people would just call him R&B. Mark didn't bother nobody. Mark was just trying to get to the pen, man. Trying to get to the joint, man. I'm tired of being in here. I'm tired of listening to country music every day. I can't fight 18, 19 people. You know, I'm tired of racist, slick comments. I'm tired of, you know, the COs and it's just, this is not an environment for me. Get me to prison with the lions, tigers, goons, gorillas, and birds. So I'm in Beattyville. I'm around, and not just Beattyville, but just a lot of these jails in general. I'm around a bunch of prima donnas. Yeah, they tough because there's a bunch of them and there's only 1 or 2 of us. Even the playing field and see what happens. That was his disposition. But he knows he has to be patient. He knows that the time is coming that they're going to send him to prison. In the meanwhile, there's another individual, Ballistic. That was his name. In prison, people rarely go by their real names. It's always a nickname in prison. It's going to sound, sometimes it sounds a little intimidating. Ballistic. Think about it. If you had somebody that was after you or wanted to talk to you or was looking for you, man, Ballistic is looking for you. Murder's looking for you. Monsters looking for you. Big Black's looking for you. Big Tim's looking for you. AKA the print checker. Big Tim would grab your print, man, when he get high off the spice. These are sort of individuals. Big Nate. Big Rufus. Fleece Johnson. You got names that sound really, really intimidating. And that's how prison is. And so this individual, Ballistic, was in the cell. He's a white dude. Ballistic was 5'11". I must admit, he was 5'11". Bald head. Whole head is tatted. Flames and shit. Like on wrestling back in the day, Big Boss Man. If you're not familiar with him, Googling Big Boss Man. He looked like a smaller version of the Big Boss Man. Had the goatee. Bald head. Like I said, the tats, flame. He got tats on his arm or whatever. But he's 5'11", opposed to Big Boss Man was about 6'3", 6'4". That's why I knew Big Boss Man was soft, because he wasn't 5'11". No disrespect to anybody that's not 5'11". I would say he was weighing in at about, because he had a gut, but he worked out. Like, he big traps, big arms. What's up, man? What's up? But he had actually, he didn't talk like it. He had a real subtle voice. Hey, how you doing, man? Ballistic. Yeah, my name's Ballistic, man. Nice to meet you. Had a very, very calm demeanor about himself. Being that he had that gut, I say he had to have weighed about 240, 245, maybe even 250. Maybe more than that. Pause, but he had like, his lower body was, he had big legs and big thighs and double pause. Not like I'm looking at another man's thighs. I'm saying, man, I seen the dude or whatever. And so, Ballistic, he didn't just call himself. He's not self-proclaimed Ballistic. His name followed him from the streets. He too had a reputation. He too would just spaz out, clock out. He's gonna go ballistic. He's gonna do whatever. So you put these two individuals in a cell together. It's only a matter of time before they clash. Now, Ballistic was not a racist dude by any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, Ballistic was from Jersey. Ended up getting caught up in Kentucky, but originally he was from Jersey. All he wanted to do was work out. Man, I can't wait to get to some iron, man. Get to some iron. That's all he wanted to do. One day, Ballistic was on the phone, and he's arguing with his girl, and they call it the devil's box in penitentiary, man. The phone is blue. It's a blue box. And man, I tell you what, I've seen more people go crazy on that phone. Bitch, you ain't answering the phone. Bitch, who's over there? When I get out, I'm gonna kill you. Of course, they're monitoring all your calls, and they're gonna come and throw you in the hole, and because you can't be talking like that over the phone. But your mind plays tricks on you when you're locked up. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Every night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. You sitting there and you thinking, because the phones go off at 11 o'clock. Now, mind you, this was back in the day. See, now they got cell phones, and cell phones are more common in the penitentiary, but back then the phones go off at 11 o'clock. So if your girl is gonna do something trifling or something, to be sneaky, all she really has to do is wait until after 11 o'clock. You can't call anymore until 7 o'clock in the morning. You're thinking about these things. Despite all the dirt, all the rotten things you did to her when you were home, not answering her calls, not coming home for 2 or 3 nights. But now you in this situation, and she has a chance to get back if she chooses to do so. A lot of dudes can't deal with that. He's calling this girl. She's not answering initially. And she finally answers the phone. He's frustrated because she's not answering the phone. Then you got other dudes waiting to get on the phone, but they don't really want to have a problem with a dude named Ballistic. And again, we're not in the penitentiary yet. See, there's certain things you can get away with in the county jails. You wouldn't get away with that in the pen unless, depending on where you were, or depending on, the sort of crew clique that you ran with. That's in Kentucky. Other states, okay, the blacks use this phone, the whites use this phone, the Mexicans use this phone, but it's not divided like that in Kentucky. I can only speak for Kentucky prisons. Man, y'all rock with me, man. Ballistic finally gets a hold of his girl. Why you ain't answer the phone? He's screaming and hollering. I guess whatever reason that she's giving him, he's shooting it down. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck. When I call you, you answer. So he's going through that or whatever. Now, this is a mild-mannered individual. But when it comes to his lady, man, he's going ham on the phone. Whatever reason, they had the phone right there by the bathroom. It was like one phone that was right there by the bathroom. Excuse me. Although they had another phone in the cell, it was like at the front part of the cell. The bathroom was at the back part of the cell. I'm trying to paint a picture as much as I can. He's on the phone. He got like a little chair. They got a little plastic chair or whatever. Sit down, talk to you, whoever you talk to on the phone. Mark's in the bathroom. Like, he got to take a dump. In the bathroom, taking a dump. He been waiting. Mind you, it's 20 to 22 people in the cell. One toilet. Inhumane. When you locked up, it's courtesy when you're taking a dump to flush the toilet every, I don't know, it's no particular time limit, or time frame, but every 30 seconds, 45 seconds, something like flush the toilet. It's just courtesy because nobody wants to smell that. Like I said, Ballistic's on the phone with his girl or whatever. Hey, bro, you need to flush, man. Mark don't say nothing. Ballistic continues to talk to his girl, argue, whatever. The conversation is somewhat calmed down. Baby, calm down. I'm with you and with you only. I had to take the kids to soccer practice. And then I had to go to the grocery store. I had to pick mother up, and I had to do this and I had to do that. When you were calling, my phone was dead. It was about to go dead. I didn't want to waste a call. I've been thinking about you all day long. I put your money order in the mail. I put you a letter in the mail. Baby, I understand, but I'm with you. I'm not no one else, baby. It's you. It's you. Is it just me? Is it just me? So Ballistic has calmed down, but this smell, he's still, fumigating, if you will. But the key words: put the money order in the mail. You know that money's coming. By all the commissary, all the protein that he wants. All he wanted was protein. He didn't get high. He didn't smoke. Protein was his addiction. Hey, bro, you need to flush, man. Mark had already flushed a couple times. But his whole thing was, I'm not about to keep flushing this toilet. Because it was one of them toilets, them steel jail toilets. Google it if you never seen one. It's a great thing if you never seen a jail toilet. When you flush it, the water just, it's like a fact just gushes up. You out, hey, oh. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that every 30, 45 seconds, man. It water splashing all up on your how can I put this, on your rectum. But that's what it is. So you ain't trying to keep flushing like that. I guess the conversation with Ballistic and his girl went left, and they get to arguing again. So he's mad. He's banging the phone on. Boom, boom, boom. Other dudes, hey, bro, I need to use the phone, man. You know what I'm saying? My people love me too. I need to get on the phone. And you done rode the phone, which means like back to back to back. You done rode the phone for like 4 or 5 phone calls in a row, man. I need to call my people too. So he mad. He boom, boom, banging the phone on the wall, whatever. Again, you wouldn't get away with this in penitentiary, but you're in a jail in which you have numbers. He says something else to Mark about Mark not flushing the toilet. Ballistic goes ballistic. bust in the bathroom. It's not even a bathroom. It's a little room with a toilet, with a sink attached to it, and there's a curtain. That's all it is a curtain. And you'll be lucky to have a curtain. A lot of jails don't even have a curtain. You just go in there and you just in there. No curtain, no covering, no nothing, man. No privacy. It's crazy. Ballistic goes in there and goes ballistic on Mark while Mark's defenseless on the toilet. Mark ain't even talking crazy. He's not talking crap. He's not doing any of those things. He goes in there, boom, boom, pieces him up. Hits him about 4 or 5 times, man. Knocks him out, man. Ballistic, as I mentioned, is probably 250. Easily. 250. Mark is only 160, 165, and he's defenseless. He's sitting on the toilet. Ballistic had to hit him 4 or 5 times. Pieced him. Pieced him up, man. Knocks dude out. His blood. His feces. It's just not a too great of a scene. But Kens, why didn't you help him? I wasn't there. And Kens is not the savior for every situation that goes down. You know how many situations like this occur in the penitentiary, in jails, on just ride around just helping inmates. I got to make sure that I don't get shanked. I got to make sure that, I don't get my wig split. I got to make sure ain't nobody put a can of Jack Mac or any sort of canned good in a bag or in a sock and split my wig. How can I go around saving everybody? I'm a stand-up guy, but I ain't no tough. I'm not, I'm tough. Built for tough. But I'm not, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy to where you like, oh man, don't mess with him. Nah, man, I'm just a cool dude, and it's like, oh man, dude's cool, man. And he's gonna get down if he has to. It's not his preference, but he's gonna get. But me to go around just taking up for people in penitentiary, it's a dog-eat-dog world in the penitentiary, man. In jail. Literally, a dog-eat-dog world. You can be the coolest. Oftentimes people talk about, man, if I go to prison, man, and I just stick to myself, man, I shouldn't have no problems, right, Kens? I shouldn't. You shouldn't. The likelihood of you having problems is lessened by you being that way. But at the same time, there's always going to be somebody that's going to try you, man. There's always going to be somebody that takes your kindness for weakness. That's just life in general. Now, had I been there, I probably would have been inclined to step in because dude we from the same city. I know him. I didn't really, I knew of him. I didn't know him, but I knew of him. And if I'll allow somebody to get their wig split and not even try to intervene, then guess what? Later on, once I get out, it's going to reach, the word is going to get back to the street. Kens, man, let Mark get split. Because like I said, Mark was known on the streets. Kens let Mark get split on the toilet. Ain't even do nothing. So now I got a problem. So had I been there, I probably would have been forced. Another danger of prison. Another dangerous aspect of prison, man. Fortunately, I wasn't there. And I'll explain to you later on exactly how I know what took place. Mark gets split. COs come in. They take Mark to the hole. Mark goes to the hole. Ballistic goes to the hole just as well, but why would Mark have to go to the hole? I'm the victim. I am the victim. I'm using the restroom. Why y'all taking me to the hole? Do you see my eye? Do you see my nose? Do you see my mouth? This big 250-pound son bitch came in and did a number on me, and I'm defenseless. I can't do nothing. I'm knocked out. The other black dude that was in the city, and it happened so fast. It's happened fast. It don't take long to boom, 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 and it's over with. It's over with. Just so happens The guard ended up coming through. Nobody really helped Mark, so he seen what happened or whatever, and they went back and looked at the cameras. They couldn't see the actual confrontation, but they seen on camera that Ballistic had gone into the bathroom because he was on the phone, so they put 2 and 2 together. The other black dude, he never jumped in and tried to intervene, but again, he was real Beatty View-ish. Not Beatty View-ish, Beatty Villish. So he wasn't gonna jump in, man. He didn't have anything to do with it, and how can you blame somebody? I don't know you, bro. One-on-one, but he snuck in, man. Word travel. They both got out of the hole, but they were in separate cells. Mark, I'ma get him. I'ma get his ass. This ain't over with. I'ma get him. If it's the last thing I do, I'ma get him. But when you say these things, it's like, yeah. But in your mind, you're thinking, how can you possibly get him? Dude's from Jersey. You're from Lexington. You're probably not going to run across him ever again unless he's in a penitentiary somewhere. So odds are you two will never ever see each other in life ever again. I often say it. 2 mountains will never meet, but 2 men will. Yeah, whatever, man. Time elapses. They both get sent to the Rotary farm. Not at the same time, but they both end up getting sent to the Rotary farm. See, the thing about the Rotary farm is so many people there, you may not even know that this individual that you have beef with is at the Rotary farm, because you may be way on the other side of the yard. Your rec time, you only get an hour a day out on rec. Your rec time may be 8 in the morning, and his rec time may be 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So the 2 of them ended up being on the yard together at the Rotary farm. Yeah, they ended up being on the yard together. Mark ended up seeing and learning that Ballistic was on the yard. At the Rotary farm, it's kind of difficult though, like to get your hand like on a weapon or on a shank or something like that is kind of difficult. However, in prison, anything can be a weapon. You can take your laundry bag. That's often what you use, like for your laundry. They give you a net bag. Got holes in it or whatever, call it a net bag, and you put your commissary in it or whatever. But it can be used as a weapon. You can take a sock, put a can, good, anything. Problem is, once he seen that Ballistic was on the yard, he didn't have anything with him, so I have to catch him because they weren't in the same dorm. So he sent, word to his peoples or whatever. Hey, man, dude over there or whatever. But Ballistic, he got people just as well, man. You get recruited when you go penitentiary. So when you get off at bus, the Grey Goose, if they know you, what's up, my dog? East side, west side, south side, whatever, north side. You rocking with us. Crip, Blood, Vice Lord, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But if you're not really affiliated or whatever, and people, they look at you and okay. Well, when an individual such as but the individual such as Ballistic, you're gonna have the skinheads, you're gonna have the it's all type of people that's gonna be attempting to recruit him. Come rock with us, man. Dude wasn't no racist though, so he ain't trying to rock with the skinheads. You got the Cincinnati white boys. Shout out to the Cincinnati white boys, man. One of the hardest crews that I ran across in prison, man. Shout out to the whole Cincinnati period, man. The whole Ohio period, rather. And so you're gonna have just different crews as okay, well come rock with us, man. Hard ass white boys. See what I'm saying? There's different names or whatever, different cliques. They see you. They do their homework, they research, make sure that, you ain't no rat, you ain't no baby R word, P word, pet up. You fill in the rest. And make sure that you're good Rock with us, man. Strength in numbers in the penitentiary, man. He ends up rocking with a crew or whatever, so he got a crew. So you can't just run up on, you know what I mean, at the Rotary farm, you can't, because it's going to be a battle. Mark said, I'm going to get you. And when he said that, he meant that. I'm going to get him. It's the last thing I do. I don't care if we on the streets. You heard me? I'm going to get you. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. Come on, kids. There you go. Just bullshit. Part 2. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. If I get more views on my part 1 and more shares and things of that nature, then I'll come with the part 2. If not, guess what? I'll scrap it and on to the next. But I do anticipate making a part 2 to this. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Be sure to hit that post notification so anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Notification is the little bell. Y'all click on the little bell, hit on the little bell, whatever, punch the little bell. So anytime I bring you a video, man, it pops up. Real Kens TV, man. Part 2 coming soon. Respectful.